After the divorce, Bikulo felt completely lost. She didn't know where to begin or how she would rebuild her life. A few days later, she was preparing to celebrate their son's 6th birthday. As she decorated the small apartment, her son looked at her with innocent eyes. "Mama," he asked softly, "why did we move to a different house?" Bikulo paused before answering. "Because sometimes adults have to make difficult decisions, sweetheart." "Where is Daddy?" "He's still living at the old house." "What is he doing there?" "He lives there with his new wife." Her son looked confused. "He has a new wife? Why?" Bikulo forced a gentle smile, even though her heart was breaking. "I know you don't understand right now, honey. One day, when you're older, you'll understand." "Okay," he replied quietly. "I just wish Daddy could be here to celebrate my birthday with me." "So do I," Bikulo whispered, tears filling her eyes. "I wish he could be here too, but because of the circumstances, he can't." He hugged his mother. "Are you happy, Mama?" Bikulo wiped away her tears and smiled. "Yes, sweetheart, I'm happy because I have you." That night, after her son fell asleep, Bikulo sat alone thinking. "I haven't worked in 10 years, she said to herself. "I don't have any recent work experience except housekeeping. Since I married my husband, I stayed home to take care of him and our family. I never asked him for money or anything. Now I have to start all over from the beginning." She thought about contacting her former employer, but quickly changed her mind. If I reach out to people who know him, they might tell him where I am. No, I'll find a job on my own. The next morning, after dropping her son off with his grandmother, Bikulo went into town looking for work. While walking through a supermarket, a well-dressed man approached her. "Excuse me," he said politely. "You're very beautiful." Bikulo smiled. "Thank you, sir." The man noticed her wedding ring. "You're married?" "Yes." "Is there anything I can help you with?" "I'm looking for a job so I can support my mother, my son, and myself." "How old is your son?" "He's 6. "And your mother?" "She's 62. "That's wonderful that you have your mother with you to help care for your son." "Yes, I'm truly blessed. If you don't mind me asking, what happened between you and your husband?" Bikulo looked down for a moment. "I don't mind the question, but some conversations are better left in the past, and this is one of them." "Were you treated badly?" "No, it wasn't like that." "So what was the problem?" "There isn't any reason to talk about it now. I'd rather leave it in the past." The man nodded respectfully. "I understand." He changed the subject. "So, what kind of work have you done?" "I worked as a housekeeper years ago. I took care of my employer's 2 daughters and cleaned their home. They became like family to me." "What else have you done?" "Nothing after that. I got married and became a stay-at-home wife." "So, you can cook?" Bikulo smiled for the first time that day. "Yes, I cook very well." "Have you ever thought about opening a catering business?" She laughed softly. "I can't. I don't have the money." "What if I gave you an opportunity?" Bikulo looked surprised. "I want you to prepare a meal for me today. I'll judge your cooking. If it's as good as you say, I want to invest in you." She stared at him in disbelief. "You don't even know me. Why would you do that?" The man smiled warmly. "I don't know. Something in my heart tells me you're a good person. Good people deserve someone to believe in them." He continued. "I don't know what happened between you and your husband, but maybe this is the beginning of a new chapter." Bikulo felt tears welling up again. "I hope so too. I pray that God helps me overcome every disappointment. I've been through difficult times before, and God has always brought me through them. Meeting you today feels like one of his blessings." The man smiled. "Then let's begin. I'll send you a list of dishes I'd like you to prepare. Can I have your address?" "Of course." Later that day, Bikulo received the menu, prepared every dish with great care, and delivered the food to his home. The man was hosting a celebration the following weekend after receiving a promotion at work. He invited Bikulo to cook for the event. The guests loved every dish she prepared. Among the guests were several investors. The man asked them, "What do you think of the food?" One investor smiled. "It's outstanding." Another nodded. "This is some of the best food I've ever tasted." The man grinned. "I'm thinking about opening a restaurant. The woman who cooked this meal will be the head chef and co-owner." The investors exchanged excited looks. "I'll invest," one of them said immediately. "So will I," another agreed. Within a few months, Bikulo's restaurant opened. She worked as both the head chef and manager. The first few weeks were slow, and business was quiet. Then, one afternoon, while she was working, her mother called. "Bikulo, come home right away. Your son isn't feeling well." Bikulo rushed home and found her son burning with fever. She placed a warm towel on his forehead, but his condition only became worse. Without wasting another minute, she rushed him to the hospital. After several hours of testing, the doctor returned with a serious expression. "I'm sorry, Mrs. Bikulo." Her heart sank. "What's wrong with my son?" "Your son has kidney failure." Bikulo's knees nearly gave out. "No, this can't be happening. We need to test you immediately to see if you're a compatible donor. Please, test me. I'm his mother." The doctor gently shook his head. "That's not how it works. We have to run the tests first. If you're a match, that's wonderful. If not, we'll need to test other family members." "I have family," Bikulo replied. "My mother, my brothers back in the village, and my sisters." "That's good," the doctor said. "We'll begin with you." Hours later, the doctor returned. "I'm very sorry." Bikulo searched his face, hoping for good news. "You are not a match." Bikulo's mother stepped forward. "Even though I'm older, I'd like to be tested too. If there's even the slightest chance I can save my grandson, I want to try." The doctor smiled kindly. "Of course, we can test you." A few hours later, the results came back. "I'm sorry," the doctor said gently. "You're not a match." Bikulo's heart sank even further. "Is there anyone else in the family?" the doctor asked. Bikulo shook her head. "I don't know. I don't think so." The doctor took a deep breath. "The other option is to place your son on the kidney transplant waiting list. However, the waiting list can take a very long time. If there's another close family member who can be tested, now is the time to contact them." Bikulo immediately knew who he meant. "My son's father." Just saying those words made her heart ache. "He's the last person I ever wanted to speak to again." The doctor looked at her compassionately. "I understand, but this isn't about your past. It's about your son's life." Bikulo closed her eyes. She had promised herself she would never contact her ex-husband again, but for her son, she had no choice. Feeling anxious, scared, and overwhelmed, she folded her hands and prayed, "Dear God, please give me strength. I never wanted to speak to this man again. He hurt me more than anyone else ever has. But my son is very sick. Please help me do what's right." Taking a deep breath, she picked up her phone and called Bikulo's husband. He answered almost immediately. "Bikulo?" His voice softened. "It's been such a long time. Are you okay? I've missed you. I love you so much. I came home and you were gone. You really left." Bikulo interrupted him. "I'm not calling about us." There was silence. "I'm calling about our son." His tone changed instantly. "What happened? Is he okay?" "No." Bikulo struggled to hold back her tears. "Our son is in the hospital. He has kidney failure. Everyone in my family has been tested, but no one is a match. You're the only person left who might be able to help." Without hesitation, he replied, "I'm leaving right now." "How soon can you get here?" "About 5 hours. Text me the hospital address." "Thank you." "No, Bikulo. Thank you for calling." After they hung up, his wife, who had overheard the conversation, walked into the room. "Who was that on the phone?" "My ex-wife." "What did she want?" "Our son is in the hospital. He needs a kidney transplant. I'm going to see him." Her face hardened. "Why would you go? We're married now. She left you. She's just using your son as an excuse to bring you back into her life." He stared at her in disbelief. "If you ever speak about Bikulo like that again, you'll regret it." She crossed her arms. "I don't care. You're not going anywhere." He ignored her and walked upstairs to pack a few things. While he was upstairs, she quietly locked every door in the house and hid the keys. When he came back downstairs, he tried to open the front door. It wouldn't budge. He checked every lock before turning back toward his wife. "Where are the keys?" She looked him straight in the eyes. "You're not leaving." "What?" "Our son is fighting for his life," he shouted. "He needs me." "She's lying," she replied coldly. "She's only saying that so she can get you back." "Our son is in the hospital," he yelled. "I don't believe her." "Give me the keys." "No." His heart raced with panic. "This is a matter of life and death." She refused to move. "You can break the door down if you want," she said, "but I'm not giving you the keys." He stood there, trapped inside his own home, desperate to get to his son. He looked at the locked door, then back at his wife. Would he break the door down and rush to the hospital to save his son, or would he stay home because his wife demanded it? What do you think he would do? Leave your thoughts in the comments below and stay tuned for the next chapter of Bikulo's unbearable hope.